Most people expect attraction to announce itself with obvious words. But in real life, interest is often much quieter. It can appear in a glance, a change in posture, or a small movement someone barely realizes they are making. And sometimes, the biggest clues are hiding in plain sight. Hands are especially interesting because people tend to monitor their facial expressions more carefully than their smaller movements. A smile can be deliberate. A voice can be controlled. But fingers, wrists, and casual gestures may reveal shifts in comfort, nervousness, attention, or interest. That does not mean one gesture can prove attraction. Context matters. Personality matters. And the clearest signal is always mutual interest communicated and respected by both people. But when several behaviors appear together, they can tell a more interesting story. The first is a familiar one, touching the hair. Someone might adjust their hair for 100 ordinary reasons. But during an engaged conversation, repeated movements toward the hair, face, neck, or collarbone can sometimes appear alongside attraction or heightened self-awareness. The important clue isn't one movement. It's the pattern. Is she becoming more focused on how she presents herself specifically while interacting with you? That leads to something even subtler. Watch what happens when the hands have nothing obvious to do. A person may trace the edge of a glass, play with a ring, run fingers along a bag strap, or slowly move around an object on the table. This could simply be fidgeting. But in the right context, it may also reflect nervous energy or heightened emotional arousal. The object becomes somewhere for that energy to go. Then comes the question that changes everything. Does the distance between you begin to disappear? A brief touch on the arm or shoulder can be part of someone's natural communication style. But repeated, voluntary touch is worth noticing, particularly if it happens when there is no practical reason for it. She may touch your arm while laughing, emphasize a point with her hand, or create small moments of physical contact. The key isn't to assume. It's to observe how she responds to proximity and whether the interaction remains comfortable and mutual. Another detail is openness. Hands that are relaxed, visible, and expressive can accompany a feeling of comfort. Open palms have long been associated with non-threatening, cooperative body language, while tightly hidden or clenched hands may sometimes indicate discomfort or tension. But again, no single movement tells the entire story. That's where the next signal becomes more meaningful. Deliberate contact involving the hands themselves. If someone repeatedly finds small, natural reasons to brush your fingers, compare hands, or allow contact to linger briefly, the interaction may be moving beyond ordinary conversation. Hands are sensitive, and even minor contact can make both people suddenly aware of the connection. What matters most is the response. Does she stay relaxed? Does she initiate contact again? Or does she pull away? That answer is often more useful than trying to decode the original gesture. Then there is wrist and forearm positioning. Exposing the inner wrist or resting the arms openly may simply be comfortable body positioning, but it can also occur when someone feels relaxed and safe. Vulnerable areas of the body are often less protected when people become comfortable around another person. But comfort alone doesn't necessarily equal attraction. The strongest clues usually involve reciprocity. Imagine you lean slightly closer, and she does the same. You make a small, respectful gesture, and later she naturally mirrors it. This type of behavioral mirroring can occur when two people are developing rapport. It creates a rhythm. One person moves, the other responds, and gradually the interaction begins to feel synchronized. And then comes the signal that deserves the most attention: sustained contact. A quick touch can be accidental. A hand that remains deliberately placed for a moment is different. Whether it's on an arm, shoulder, hand, or back, sustained contact suggests a greater level of comfort with physical closeness. But even here, confidence doesn't mean assuming permission. The best response to possible attraction is not aggressive escalation. It's awareness. Notice the pattern. Respond naturally. Give the other person room to respond. If interest is mutual, the connection tends to become clearer rather than more confusing. And that's the real lesson behind all 8 signals. Hair touching, object fidgeting, casual arm contact, open gestures, finger brushes, relaxed wrist exposure, mirroring, sustained contact. None of them is a secret code that guarantees attraction. But together, especially when combined with attention, proximity, eye contact, conversation, and genuine reciprocity, they can reveal that something is changing beneath the surface. The biggest mistake isn't failing to memorize every gesture. It's treating attraction like a puzzle that must be solved instead of an interaction that should be shared. Pay attention. Stay present. Respect boundaries. And let mutual interest reveal itself naturally. Because when two people genuinely want to move closer, the strongest signal usually isn't hidden in a single movement of the hand. It's in what happens next, when both people choose to move closer together.